The Legal and Regulatory Working Group of the European Microfinance Network organized a meeting and also a workshop in Zagreb, Croatia in April 2013. At this occasion, we made an interview with Maria Doiciu, Executive Director of Eurom Consultancy Studies in Romania and also a former member of the EMN board. First of all, I would like you to introduce yourself and your institution.
Well, I'm Maria Doiciu. I'm the Executive Director of Eurom Consultancy Studies. It's a consulting company established in 2002 in Romania with a major business in consulting for access to finance for SMEs, mainly micro enterprises, and microfinance. That's the core business. The company is implementing projects in Eastern European countries, and we have experience in implementing similar projects in Central Asian countries.
And tell me about your country. How does the current crisis affect your clients and your institution?
Working with the microfinance sector as main beneficiaries of the services we are providing, and working directly with the clients, with small and micro and small companies mainly, we can see how the financial and the economic crisis affect them. What was the major impact is that the SME sector in Romania, which is 98% formed from micro enterprises, are not growing. You know what happened? The micro enterprises are normally growing towards small enterprises and further to medium enterprises. Some of them are staying micro, and the new micro enterprises are established. So to have 98% from the SME sector micro, it's more or less fine. The issue is that those micro enterprises, they don't grow. They remain micro. And one of the main reasons for this is because they don't have access to proper financial resources to invest and develop their assets based. Because the growth process is based on a real and sustainable production based assets. So they are not investing in production assets. And therefore they don't graduate. They don't hire people. They don't increase their operations. They keep all their operations small, and that's the main issue. Another issue is related to the markets. So Romania is integrated into the European Union system, and the major export market is the European Union market. So when this market starts shrinking, reducing its potential to absorb new services, new products, new goods, you can imagine how difficult it is to maintain the current level of production. But there are goods. So the good part is that the entire sector was somehow approved, in such a difficult period. They are pushed to the edge, and the good companies are getting stronger. It's like we are saying, if doesn't kill you, make you stronger. So those which survived during this period are stronger. They prove themselves on the market, and they prove their strategy, their survival strategy, and there is a potential to grow. And in the same time, because of this reduced economic reduce economic turnover of the entire sector. Those which have real good strategies, real good products, they develop their markets. So that's more or less what's happened in Romania.
And in your opinion, what would you have to do to operate in a more efficient way?
For the microfinance institutions? So being a consultant, I was observing how the microfinance institutions were passing through the same difficult period. So there are different coping strategies. So some of them successful, some of them not quite successful. But let's stay with the positive, with those which are successful in this period. So they are getting closer to the clients, reshaping and redesigning their financial products based on the needs of the clients. Most of them, they were using the surplus, the so-called profit, in order to develop business development support services. So to support the development of the market and to support the market to cope with the challenge from the economic crisis. There are some of the MFIs, they discovered niches which were not covered by the financial sector, the formal financial sector, the SMEs banks. And those niches discovered by them were properly served. They were fast in developing and delivering and promoting new financial products, and they proved to be pretty successful. So, and it was a kind of, they were pushed as their clients to the edge. The best ones survived and proved themselves on the market.
And what kind of future do you predict for the microfinance sector in Europe?
Well, quite a good one. So within the current program, 2007-2013, there were some financial engineering instruments which were launched and tested. So, and microfinance, it's subject of the Progress program, which is a type of financial engineering instrument. So far, looking to the last reports, European Investment Fund was published on their website, the results are pretty positive. And it's a good combination of financial resources, as credit line, the equity investment, they didn't start it, but the credit lines, with the guarantee, and with technical assistance for the microfinance institutions. So this kind of combination of different instruments proved to be successful, because with the technical assistance, with Jasmine program, they were building the capacity of the microfinance institutions to properly absorb the funds which were provided by Progress, so, or the guarantee which are provided by Progress. So in my country, in Romania, there are quite a few MFIs which access successfully the Progress. Actually, Romania is one of the main beneficiaries of the Progress facility and of Jasmine facility as well. And what we succeed within the last year is to have us to introduce within the eligibility criteria the credit unions. So this year we have 6 credit unions which will benefit from Jasmine, and that's quite a good start.
And as a former member of the EMN board, how do you see the microfinance sector in the European Union?
Well, it was from the beginning and still is a challenge to the formal sector, to the SME sector. They are still considering the microfinance institutions not real partners, but sometimes competitors, especially in Eastern European countries. It is challenging, mainly because of the differences between the sectors. So we have a pretty so-called commercial one in the Eastern European countries, more formal, more efficient, already sustainable, proved on the market with good financial products, and we have a pretty social one within the Western European countries. So in order to harmonize those characteristics, the Western sector, social orientation, and the sustainability from and efficiency from the Eastern Europe, that's the challenge for the next period. Because sustainability has to be, you know, a goal for all the MFIs. They have to be there to not only today, but tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, for their clients and the new clients. That's one. In the same time, they have to provide financially inclusive services. That's the role of the microfinance institutions everywhere. Yeah? So the social feature of the financial activity should be there. So it's a challenge for both sectors, you know, Eastern and Western.
And in your opinion, what is the EU institutions' attitude towards the microfinance?
Well, I think they passed through the wondering phase, you know. They were wondering if the microfinance sector in Europe has a future. They passed through that phase. Right now, they are pretty interested and somehow pleased with the efficiency and with the results of the Progress facility in terms of number of clients, volume of loans extended, this revolving scheme which is new for them. I think they are learning from these pilot projects in order to properly design new financial engineering instruments within the next programming period, 2014-2020. And with the European Code of Good Conduct, so they are pretty keen in developing a kind of quality standard for all the microfinance institutions in Europe. And that's a very good point. You know, you have a benchmark, a quality standard, to assess both the efficiency and the social orientation, the impact, and the sustainability of the microfinance institution. So it's a standard, it's a benchmark which will apply to all the MFIs in Europe, and that's good.
And how do the different sectors cooperate?
In Europe?
In Europe.
European Microfinance Network, it's not only a network which represents the sector, but it's a network which make the connection and share the information and the good experiences among the members, among the sectors in Europe, each country sectors in Europe. So we are here in Croatia with where we organize a legal and regulatory working group meeting and a workshop to support the Croatian microfinance institutions to promote a new legal framework for microfinance provision in this country. But in the same time, we share informations, we share experiences, and especially the good experiences, but we learn from the bad as well. So like an example, we got support from the Hungarian microfinance institutions and advice on developing a scheme which is a combination, it's a financial engineering scheme, a combination between microfinance and subsidy for the interest. So, and we develop a program which is financed from the Romanian government program for micro enterprises called Cardul Cogălnicianu. So we share as much as possible from the Romanian experience in promoting a legal framework for the development of the sector with our colleagues from Spain and from Italy. And we are looking forward to learn from our peers, institutions, how to implement in Romania how to implement the programs which will increase the impact on the targeted beneficiaries, on the micro enterprises and potential entrepreneurs. So that's more or less the cooperation and the exchange of information, which is in the benefit of all the members and all the sectors in Europe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.